Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and I recently had the chance to go hands-on with the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 beta for the Blackout mode, which was the part of the game I was most curious and excited about, considering we haven't really seen a Battle Royale mode be built from the bottom up in AAA development spaces. We've only seen something like Fortnite, which as it gained more money, it really started pumping more money into the product, where it only started off as early access. So while I was also excited, I didn't know what to expect, whereas when I played the original Call of Duty Black Ops 4 beta, which just had multiplayer matchmaking in it, it was what I expected. Fast, fluid, frantic, twitch reflex-based gunplay that's in your face. Now, the reason I was unsure what to expect when it came to Battle Royale is because a lot of what Battle Royale is known for fights against the very DNA that Call of Duty has built into it. Like I said, Call of Duty's about getting in your opponent's faces, rushing them, fast gameplay, it's very quick, twitch reflexes are a must, first shot, first kill, super important. Whereas in Battle Royale, you track your opponent from a distance. You don't always shoot right away. You have to have patience. Sometimes there's absolutely no action happening on the battlefield for minutes at a time. It's really odd playing a Call of Duty game with that same feeling, but yet nothing really happening. So upon dropping in, I made a positive note and a negative note. The positive note is that the map itself is awesome. As someone who's played Treyarch games all their life, and I really like what they do with Call of Duty, I have to say. I was seeing all these old Treyarch-based maps tossed into a blender and they spit this thing out. It was pretty cool, considering you have things like Nuketown Island, Array, Firing Range, the old Zombies map from World at War that was based in an asylum. I mean, it was just cool seeing these parts being put into a modern game and some memories being evoked of what these maps really contained for me growing up as a gamer. Now, on the other side, upon dropping in, I also instantly noticed that on a base PS4 playing on a 48-inch TV, I know it's not a big deal, but it didn't look good, like at all, compared to the multiplayer gameplay, which I thought was crispy, looked just like a solid AAA game, you know, it wasn't like a graphical showcase. But when I looked at this mode right here, I thought, ugh, God, the draw distance, there's really muddy textures, it just doesn't look good. And I know this can be a negative for some, because since the draw distance is solid, but yet what you're seeing in the distance is kind of muddy, it's kind of hard to see what's out there at all, which is important because a lot of what these Battle Royale games are is seeing your opponent and basing your play off of where they're at, whether you want to engage with them or if you want to outright avoid them and continue collecting resources. Now, speaking of collecting resources, this is the part of the game that needs a little balance. What was there was good, it felt fluid, it felt intuitive right away, how you picked up attachments, put them on your guns, working through the inventory, all that was pretty easy, albeit not as quick as it should be. Competitors have the edge there, where Call of Duty's inventory system and looting system needs work. It's not bad in the scheme of things, but when you look at other Battle Royale games where you need to loot quickly, sometimes you drop an enemy, you want to pick up what they've got and then go, you can't really do that in this game. The way you sift through people's inventory is scrolling on the D-pad left and right through their bag. Sometimes, because it's in the beta stage, even clicking the D-pad doesn't work, so you'll be crouched for a good 15 to 30 seconds doing that and then going through your inventory, equipping stuff. It's really not a quick, fluid way of doing things. That does need improvement. But like I said, it's not bad, it just could be easily better. It does have some of the Call of Duty DNA sprinkled throughout, because for example, you can find perks like Iron Lungs, which allows you to steady your breath for much longer, or Mobility, which allows you to move around the map at a quicker pace, stuff along these lines that give you a little bonus for about 300 seconds worth of time. The resources themselves though are never hard to find. Where I remember playing a lot of PUBG or playing a lot of Fortnite, sometimes it was tough to come across a good weapon, but in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, finding a weapon out here in Battle Royale was instantaneous. I think out of the many hours I played, there were only 2 times I dropped and struggled to find a weapon instantly, and a good weapon at that. So I think the drop ratio for certain weapons needs to be altered, because it felt like everyone was armed and ready to go instantly. Another thing that I feel should be tweaked is the time to kill, because if you don't have armor, it's your standard Call of Duty time to kill, where it's like half a second if your shot's on and boom, you're dead. Whereas when you start picking up armor, you get a lot of health. I mean, a seriously noticeable amount that when you're shooting at someone, I kind of liked it because it's never been like that in Call of Duty, where your brain is simply accustomed to the idea of point, shoot, he's dead in half a second. So when it takes about 2 seconds worth of shooting, it feels really strange that they don't drop right away. However, I gotta say, when someone's got the level 3 armor or level 2, it kind of strips me out of the experience when I'm peppering shots into them, almost a full clip, and it's still not enough. Perhaps that is why the weapon drop rate is so high in this, because they know that the health count is very high when you couple in the armor. But I think it provides the edge that's necessary to separate those who stack their armor, who choose their combat encounters wisely. But I think that they just need to slightly lower the health cap just a little bit when it comes to the armor. I do imagine that health bonuses in Battle Royale games is something that's tough to really nail down, and perhaps this could allude to an adjustment issue, because I am used to this Call of Duty gunplay. It's everyone dying in a matter of seconds, auto aim bails you out, and that's a lot of things that have been stripped out with some of the larger landscapes you're going to be battling on, and also with that armor. So that could also be it. As we play it more and we get used to it more, will it be as big of a problem for me as it is for a lot of seasoned vets? We'll see in due time, but it's still something, like I said, that's worth discussing and could use a smidge of adjusting. This part is something that's not wrong with the Blackout mode, but alludes to what I was discussing earlier about the DNA of Call of Duty having a tug of war with what Battle Royale really is. Now, the gunplay for Call of Duty is clearly built for closed-in environments, medium distance at most. You're not really supposed to be shooting from a super far range, where it was odd taking a shot at someone from a good 100 meters out versus when they were close up. It felt like the engagements were entirely different, where despite the fact that the shooting is possible from that distance, it's smarter, just because the game works against you, to actually get up close. That's where I racked up the most kills. That's where I really got into my wheelhouse and I was outskilling people, is when I got up close with them, because that's where Call of Duty really boils it all down to, is who has the better reflexes, who's got the better accuracy. Where at a distance, sometimes that stuff doesn't even matter, because of hit detection, weapons, the way the idle sway is, stuff along those lines that are just programmed into the game, kind of fly under the radar for some. The reason I'm kind of hitting on this stuff is because the trailer sold the idea of this being very frantic, fast-paced, explosive gameplay, and matches were slow. Granted, people are still learning the map, so the game will gradually develop over time, and I'm sure things will become more encounter loaded. But early on, and I don't have an issue with this, it was slow. You know, I was spending a good 5 minutes just chilling in a building, waiting for the action to start picking up in a central point, or catching someone trying to run by and get to a safer area. That's what Battle Royale is all about. Just, I feel like some Call of Duty players who maybe don't engage in the Battle Royale mode all too often might be taken a bit off guard by the slow-paced nature of this mode. But overall, man, I had a great time with this. It's really what pushed me over the edge to go, you know what, I'm gonna play Call of Duty. It was just that simple. I decided I'm going to play Call of Duty because I love zombies. I enjoyed what was there in the multiplayer. As someone who plays game battles a lot, I think that that game has a good future for competitive play. And then the Battle Royale was just good fun. And that's coming from someone who's not a big Battle Royale fan. Do I see myself sinking dozens and dozens of hours into it? Hell no, I definitely don't. But do I see myself playing it a good amount and having fun with it? Yeah, definitely. It was an enjoyable time, and I do recommend you guys keep your eye on Call of Duty this year. It feels like they're making changes and putting their money right where they need to. It's still yet to be determined if the removal of a campaign will actually benefit Call of Duty, but so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think balancing is something that needs to be focused on a little bit with this experience, but what's there currently, I actually enjoyed. So I recommend just keeping your eyes on it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you had a chance to play the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout beta, what did you think? Do you think it could be better? Because I know I'm not a super experienced Battle Royale player. I got 40 hours in both Fortnite and PUBG, and I haven't played those in a decent amount of time. So this is my first time diving into Battle Royale in a good couple of months. So I'd like to hear some thoughts from those of you who are more experienced, or those of you who are just Call of Duty fans, or maybe people who aren't big on Battle Royale at all. Hell, I'd love to hear from all of you. You guys know me. Anyway, fire away in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content we create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.